Hey indie game fans! For the third week in a row, there's yet another gaming convention going on, this time being EGX Rezzed in London. Naturally, we have more UK and European developers represented, but for the sake of brevity, I will skip over some pretty cool games that are releasing in April, such as Katana Zero, as well as some games which I am saving for upcoming videos. Among the games previously covered are the family-centric roguelite dungeon crawler Children of Morta, the roguelike dungeon crawler with dice-based combat Dicey Dungeons, post-apocalyptic action-adventure game Eastward, which has gorgeous pixel art, the monochromatic cat Metroidvania Gato Roboto, the gorgeous RPG Indivisible, another pixel art standout Inmost, the procedurally generated downhill mountain biking Lonely Mountains Downhill, the violent ballet of a game with a sentient banana, My Friend Pedro, the stunning turn-based RPG that gives me Indiana Jones vibes, Pathway, local multiplayer mayhem Samurai Gunn 2, the adorable platformer Songbird Symphony, another gorgeous pixel art action-adventure game Sparklite, the beautiful first-person puzzle game The Sojourn, the sandbox game where you play as a big jerk of a Goose, Untitled Goose game, and finally the comic book roguelite strategy FPS Void Bastards. Moving on, here are the top 10 best upcoming indie games from EGX Rezzed 2019. The review of SteamWorld Quest was a pretty insane one to me, since from the naming convention, this is from Image and Form, the developers of the mining Metroidvania SteamWorld Dig 1 and 2, as well as the 2D turn-based tactics game SteamWorld Heist. They are now taking on a card-based RPG and it looks mighty impressive. This releases later this month on Switch first, so it looks like they are following the Supergiant Games strategy of switching up genres almost every time.
The galaxy is all that is, or ever was, or ever will be. Recently, we've gone through a metamorphosis that would define our place in the universe. We are but a bubble in a sea froth within the uncharted reaches of the starry ocean. We're about to embark on a journey through space. Come with me and dance away into the imagination unfettered by ordinary limits.
Presenting DJ Subatomic Supernova, live at Club Planetary.
Ever wanted to play a rhythm game that isn't your traditional Guitar Hero note highway? Well, No Straight Roads is the game for you. Super slick visuals and action in this 3D action game. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is the spiritual successor to Castlevania, which is one of the main minds behind that series involved, Mr. Koji Igarashi. A huge Kickstarter success, there have been some delays to the launch of this game, but we should finally see it released in 2019. While I'm not so hot on the 3D visuals, nevertheless something to get excited about due to the pedigree, and it has previewed well so far. The sequel to 2017's adorable RPG Cat Quest, this kinda starts off as a lie since there are now dogs involved, not that I am complaining. An open world RPG with exploration, combat, a fantastic cartoony art style, customizable equipment, and a ton of puns. So I'll leave you in the developer's own words, which are to go on the ultimate cat venture when this is out.
Follow my voice. Can you hear me? Everything you see, all the angst you feel has always been there. Look for me and seek until your last breath. Follow my voice.
Etherborn is a beautifully rendered, gravity-defying puzzle platformer, giving me a little of that Monument Valley vibe. I love how this looks, and the puzzles and exploration looks pretty great in this.
Follow my voice.
Galactic Soccer is self-described as football meets golf story, which is weird for me since I'm not a fan of the sport, but am weirdly intrigued by this. I like sports-themed games that deviate from the traditional simulation, so with the pixel art and hopefully objectives and a cast of interesting characters, this may be well worth looking into. Beyond Blue is from the developers of Never Alone, the gorgeous puzzle platformer developed with input from the native Alaskan people, and in the same way, the studio has now teamed up with BBC Studios, who are behind the beautiful documentary series Blue Planet and Blue Planet 2, which are, of course, focused on the planet's oceans. Beyond Blue is a narrative experience following Mirai and her research team who are exploring the ocean in a similar fashion. And as a big fan of documentaries, having the ability to interact with one of these is a dream. Stunning visuals as well. Omno was successfully kickstarted in December 2018 with more than triple the funding goal, and I have seen some comparisons made between Omno and that game company's Journey, a 3D puzzle exploration game. It is jaw-droppingly beautiful and looks like a world that I would love to get lost in. Warborn is a turn-based tactics game where you control a mecha strike force and utilize them in a large-scale galactic conflict. I have to admit, I was drawn in by the anime-style cutscenes, which are so good. My gosh, very impressed, and there appears to be quite some variation in the type of robots, so this is one for strategy fans.
Smell that country air. There's nothing like this in the city.
And now, it's all yours, just as it stated in your uncle's will. Rest his soul.
I feel like the luckiest man on earth. Where my pigs at? Wow, a cow house, a corn bush, potato orchard, spooky hatch. Whoa, spooky hatch? Oh, you gotta come down here. It's like an old bunker.
I ain't getting down no hatch.
Oh, come on. What could be safer than a bomb shelter?
Safe from what? Nothing bad has ever happened around here.
Finally, Atomicrops has the tagline Farm, Marry, Kill, and self-describes as an action roguelite farming sim where you cultivate ultra GMO crops, scavenge the wasteland, recruit farm animals, and maybe find love while battling mutated monsters, which is the love child of two of my favorite genres. So excited for this! For more upcoming indie games, check out the previous video or click on the playlist, and I will see you after the jump.